The return to school is only weeks away and we are ready for you. This is a year-specific video. Make sure you are watching the one for the year group you will be in September. As well as this video, we've shared key points for the day, a behaviour protocol to take account of how we will all need to behave to reduce risks, a travel and an attendance guide. I think you'll see that the new routines are simple and sensible, and in a few days back at school it will feel like this is just how we've always done things. The changes are to make sure we reduce mixing, to do our bit to support reducing the risks of illness for everyone. We'll work together to support each other through this next half term.
We have really high standards here at the Marches, whether that's to do with academics and also the way you conduct yourselves around the site. And this year will be no different to that. There are rules and regulations and systems in place, and they're there to keep us all safe. Now this year will be slightly different because of the current climate, and there will be additional rules and systems in place. That's very important everyone adhere to. If you can't follow those rules, you won't be able to go in and about at break time and social time. So it's very important we do follow those rules. As I said, they're there to keep us safe, and we can all follow them very, very easily. Nothing to worry about.
Hello Year 7s, Mr Kemble here. On your first day at the Marches School, we're all going to meet at the Big M before going up and meeting our new form tutors.
If you've arrived at school wearing a face mask, you'll be required to come up to this entrance to the school where you're going to follow our procedures for taking your mask off. First of all, you're going to sanitise your hands before removing the mask. If it's a disposable one, you'll put it in the bin provided. If it's a reusable one, you are going to put it into a Ziploc plastic bag, which you will be required to bring to school. You're then going to sanitise your hands again before entering the school for the day.
This is our form area, as you can see. The different coloured rooms there. One of those will be your form room, and every morning we will line up here in our forms ready for our tutor activities.
At the end of every lesson, your teacher will go around and spray the desks. When you arrive at your next classroom, please just be patient with this and sensible. You'll be invited into the room, but you'll need to wait quietly outside. You sanitise your hands on the way in, then collect a tissue and move to your seat. Here you will wipe your desk before putting the tissue into the bin. We ask that you do not sit anywhere where there's a red sign. For the majority of your lesson, your teacher will remain at the front of the classroom. They won't be in and around the students. As far as possible, we're going to try and keep a 2-metre gap between the students and members of staff. So it's really important that you play your part in this, stay in your seat and keep that distance from the teacher. It's also really important that you bring your own equipment. You won't be able to borrow things from other students, so you need to make sure that you are properly equipped for everything that you will need in your lessons. At the end of the session, you'll be told when to leave, and you'll sanitise your hands again on the way out.
This is where we'll be spending our social time, on the multi-gym equipment. Quite a nice place to spend our social time, and it's also right next to our form room, so I'm always nearby, and so are your tutors as well. At break time, there'll be a tuck station set up here for you where you can get a snack. This will be a cash system only, so make sure you bring your pennies in with you. And as you can see, it's right next to our form area and where we'll have our social time.
These are the toilets that you'll use at social times. You'll be the only people using them at social times as well, and they can be found on the tech corridor. This is one of our many water dispensers that can be found around the site. We don't sell bottled drinks here at the Marches, so we do advise that people bring a reusable water bottle with them to stay hydrated throughout the day.
For Year 7, Period 4 will finish at 12:30. At this time, you'll get brought down to the restaurant by your teachers, where you'll have an opportunity to eat your lunch and have a quiet reading session, which will finish at 1:05. At that point, you'll be taken up to your own breakout area, where you'll remain until the end of lunchtime. At lunchtime, food will only be available from the restaurant. There will be no satellite stations set up, so you'll have to make sure you go to the restaurant at that time. Lunchtimes we use the cashless system and only the cashless system. At break times it will be cash only.
We're going to have a staggered end to the day, and that's to allow everybody to leave site in an orderly way and to help keep everybody safe. There will be 3 bells. The first bell will be at 2:50, and that's to signify to years 7 and 8 that their lesson is to end and they should then leave their lesson and exit site. There will be then a bell at 3 o'clock, and that's for years 9 and 10 to let them know that their lesson time is over and they should then leave site. There will be a third bell at 3:10, and that's for years 11, 12 and 13 to let them know that they can then leave site. We're asking that when you do leave the site that you go straight off and you don't hang around on the school premises. That's to help us make sure everybody stays safe and can leave site in an orderly way. If you need to put your mask back on at the end of the day, you'll need to sanitise your hands before putting your mask back onto your face. You can do this at this area, or you can do this as you leave your lessons, as long as your hands are well sanitised before putting your mask back on.
We do appreciate that some of you may be feeling a little bit worried about your return to school in September, but everybody here is here to support you if that's what you need. There's been lots of information in this video, so please take the time to watch it again, to reread the guidance that came along with it so you are fully prepared. We know that by practicing these things and being prepared, everything will become routine, and then we can focus back in on your learning. Can't wait to see you in September.